joining us. We got PKD Nambiar, who's a political analyst. We got Dilip Cherian, image and brand guru. We got Ajay Brahmat Ma. Ajay saying that boycott could have caused some impact. PKD, why is Amir Khan targeted for what he said something in, say, 2015? Why now?
No, well, that Amir Khan generally comes up with a movie also in once in 5 years or so. I think this is very clear now that you cannot just have a hit and run with your comment, your opinions, and for that particular time you feel that an environment which is conducive for you to promote your product or your project or your cinema, that does not mean that people will forget it. It's a jamana of wherein 24/7 people have all your recordings will be coming out. Like you have seen in the case of Bihar, for an example,
Right.
the memes of flooded with Nitish Kumar's earlier statements or so on Lalu. So this is the time wherein anything and everything what you speak today will be coming back to haunt you, or whatever you do in the past will coming back to haunt you. And I think there is no doubt about it. As far as the movie and what even our film critic was talking about, I personally believe that most of the time, and of course we have an image guru and a brand guru on the panel, he will also agree with me that sometimes such kind of tactics, these are also marketing tactics for these
Which
movie makers.
tactics?
I'm
What
talking about
tactics?
this. I'm talking about this boycott, so that
Okay.
you get so much of a free content, free space in the media from the point of view for publicity. A large number of people who may not be wanted to go and watch this movie in first place, who will say that, who the hell are you to say that boycott this movie? So I will go and see it. So if it is a good product and if it is a good movie, if the content of the movie and if the story is well being placed, I
Yes.
think no boycott campaign will ever work. You remember that
Right.
in the case of Kashmir Files, without having
Yeah.
given any
Yeah.
superstar as a part of it,
Yeah.
it worked very well on the box office. So I would not
So
say that if you have a very good story, well scripted and placed and well directed, irrespective of a star is there or not, there is a superstar or a less star, movies will work. Now coming
so
to the one
content.
last
Yeah. Yes.
content is the key.
But
Content and performance is the very key, and of course the direction. It's overall package.
con-
The boycott or no boycott is not going to impact at the final outcome. It may impact in the beginning in the few days. Now you remember, if the content, for an example, Prithviraj, like I would say that it was really a very bad movie from the point of view for direction.
yes.
It
Yes.
spoiled the image of the I would say it's a
So
injustice to the character Prithviraj, but it was
so
overly marketed. Did it work? It flopped
so
in
so,
Cannes.
so Hindi cinema on the back foot.
Well, that is actually not true. The problem is
Yeah.
that the Hindi cinema and the Hindi superstars have become so much, as Ajay ji said, it has become, they're more of like a business rather than an art and a content. So at the end
Hmm.
of the day, this is an art. This is one, maybe you can call it like a different kind of an art. You may not be performing in front of the audience, but this is, at the end of the day, it's an art. But on the
Yeah.
contrary, when the Bahubali, the defining moment of Indian movies, I don't call it like a Bollywood or South Indian, like me and Dilip ji coming from a land of cinema, in a way Malayalam, which is not such celebrated across, but the kind of content what we have been seeing in our cinema is no parallel to any other movies anywhere. It's not just because of we are. I'm becoming further hyper sub-regional. No, don't take us
Hmm.
wrong. And most of the many of these what Ajay ji said, Trishul, or some of these movies have been made as a Pushpa or the other movies. You will find 80% of South Indian movies are remade or dubbed or whatever form it is being consumed by the overall audience, not only in India,
Right.
across the world. So the
Right.
problem is that Bahubali, when it became a defining moment of India, the picturization, characterization, the
So
way the
it's the entire
larger
package,
complete the
and
larger
entire
than life
package, the way.
image. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was predominantly creativity, packaging, as Dilip ji said.
It's
Also the
many
overall,
factors, all
but then
together.
yeah, then it
Yeah.
also turned out to be a successful business. On the contrary, what Amir Khan and Akshay Kumar is trying to do, they wanted to do a business while performing some kind of an art. rather than
but
performing an art. It should be turning around to be the business. I think that's what
right.
I feel.
I
No, well, I'll tell you about. There are few things like in the case of an Amir Khan, making fun of Hindu god and goddesses has been a fashion in the Bollywood or in some of these movies for a longest of time. And in fact, not only in the movies, even in some of the theater. Like, I'm a great lover of theaters. Even in some of the theater, it is very easy. It's like very usual. There is no problem. But there is something which has happened, and this is good, bad. It is fundamentalism or X versus Y. I am not a person who will be able to tell you. But then what is thing? A little bit more aware Hindu, or the one who really feels that, yeah, if other religions or their images cannot be even talked about it, why somebody can make mocking of my goddess and god and goddesses. So, and
right.
these things keep coming back, and so of course the social media definitely do impact
But
on
why?
somebody
But
who is on an ambivalent, who is in the sitting on the fence, or he might even take a decision. Yeah, no, I think this guy is what the others are saying is right. And most importantly, most of these stars, Safarbai, if you really look at it, they're all kind of things comes out only just before their movie. After that, they go on a hibernation mode. They will talk about
no, but
nationalism. They will talk about.
why specifically Amir Khan? He has made some comments in 2015 for which he has also apologized now.
No, no,
Why
yeah,
has
that's
he
true.
been?
Now he's apologizing it right now. I'll tell you why. For an
No, he's
example,
saying that it's hurt somebody's sentiments. Then he's sorry.
so that's see, why is he saying this now? It has been a discussion for several years. His former wife once said that, yes, I think it's not a safe place anymore to live in India, and it is his own comment. It's all there on the public domain. But I think it took so much of a time for him when his another movie or another business venture is just to roll out. That is when he is apologizing. But where was he for the
Okay.
last 4 or 5 years? When he went to that country, I'm just missing the name. A country which always show overshadow when it comes to the Islamic phobia or go against the India. He
Turkey,
went
Turkey.
there when yeah, you're talking about Turkey, and we know that Erdogan was always an anti-India sentiment guy. But he is going, and on the one side you are saying you are a very nationalistic, proud Indian, and etc. On the other side, his action is not really on the
Right,
same line. I
right.
think we
I
are
got
all
the
falling prey with their business tactics. One thing I wanted to tell
business.
you, and this is
Yeah,
one more one side.
yeah.
I don't know whether there is a movie called a Drishyam, which is actually a Malayalam movie by the great Mohanlal. The Drishyam 1 did extremely good. Drishyam 2, you will be surprised. It did even do it better. I spoke to the director. He happened to be a friend. You will be surprised. The cost of that movie production is so low, so low. And with, what is the number of characters are too small. So it is actually, if you have a strong content and a good direction, and if you
Yes.
have a complete package, the product will definitely sell.
But Dilip, do you exchange? Thanks to all our panelists for joining us. That's all we have in